Good morning, esteemed judges and participants. My name is Will, and today I'm going to present one for that one. So my presentation is going to start in 3, 2, 1. Have you ever joined a competition that the hardest part is actually not the competition itself, but the part where you find your teammates and find a good team? Yes, sure. Then that's where Collaborify comes in and helps you with that. So the problem in this status quo, imagine being a Vietnamese student who dream of building robots, pitching ideas, public speaking and debating, and excitedly scroll through announcements just to when your alley hits that you simply does not have a team. Why? Firstly, because of isolation crisis. Thousands of Vietnamese students want to compete but simply lack of team. Secondly, skills mismatch. Mostly, teams usually overlap in skills, and research have shown that skill balance explains up to 81% of a team performance. And thirdly, social barriers, especially for introvert immigrants who faces social barriers in a new environment. Therefore, it will be very hard for them to do networking and to actually create a team on their own. And lastly, geographic limitation. People who in rural areas, who in the Vietnamese highlands, are limited in good teammates and networking. Therefore, it's simply unfair for them to compete with students who are in big cities. So how does these problems lead to opportunities? At the same time, Vietnam is at its tipping point. Funding grew about 300% in the last 5 years. Therefore, investors are hungry for these new startups like execution-ready teams. And secondly, there are about 2.3 million university students. Therefore, it is basically the largest pool of talent in Vietnam history right now. And not to mention that the demanding rise of new competition, which also requires team formations. So for our value proposition, we based on what our customer needs, wants, and fear. Firstly, they need insight into their strengths and weaknesses after each competition. Secondly, they need to break the social barriers. And lastly, they need a good team fit where they could compete fairly with everyone. So how does Collaborify solve this? Firstly, we provide beyond hosting for organizer and competition hoster to to host competition on our platform. And secondly, we provide AI-powered team formation, where students your team formation is based on each student's skill, and their skill will complement each other based on our AI analysts. And thirdly, after each competition and the results are our AI are able to analyze these type of results and knows what is your weaknesses and what is your strengths and what you should improve and what you should keep doing. So for our core features, like our homepage, that we have Find Partners, which is basically our AI powered tool that team for you. Secondly, join competition, where there's a list of rounds, competition and events that is sorted by category, times, and location, where you could easily choose a competition that you're willing to compete. And thirdly, manage team, where it's a place where coaches and their team could manage, and assign their roles, and also at the same time track their progress. And lastly, collaborate is basically where we create a platform for teamwork and sharing with each other. For our subscription plan, our Co Plus, which costs $1 per year, is designed for individual scholars who want to access our AI-powered features. And for Co Pro, it's more for $35 per year. It's more of an advanced version for competition hoster, organizer, and coaching staff who want to use our website to host competition, to manage their team, etc. So for our competitive analysts, for competition hosting, there are websites like DevPost, Tableau, HeroX. Sure, they're good at logistics, but they lack in team formation and they lack post-competition analysts. And for communities like Facebook and Discord, and it's usually very informal, and very hard. It takes a lot of work and process to set up a competition, like to set up a group server for a competition. Therefore, it's really not a good choice. And lastly, for listing like new opportunities and university sites, it's basically a bunch of competition advertisement, but there are really no any other feature. And this is where Collabify beats our competition. We provide firstly AI smart chat for team formation, and at the same time we provide competition hosting, built-in competition hosting with live bracket and AI generated bracket. So it's gonna be easy for a competition hoster to host on our website without any worries. And lastly, we also have AI post competition analyst, which there's no, and like in the market there's not really anyone doing this stuff. So to address this our scope, we're gonna use the SAM and SOM model. For the TAM is our total addressable market. It's nearly 800 students globally across the K-12 and university, and these students are annually competing in millions of competition. And for our SAM model, is basically a smaller scope where only 2 to 3 million students worldwide who actually participate in academic competition. And our SAM model is the scope that we're trying to achieve is around 1.2 to 1.8 million students in STEM and public speaking in general. We choose 2 of these categories because they are the biggest categories out there that people are competing. So for our marketing plan, we tend to do school partnership, like partner with clubs and university and school to integrate Collabify into their events. And I already have a lot of networks with clubs in my own school. Therefore, I think this would be a great chance for integrate these type of networking and to integrate Collabify into the events. Secondly, national competition integration. We do that to build Collabify credibility by hosting national-based competition. And thirdly, digital outreach, where we use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the social media that students use. And yeah, lastly, our globalization part, where we start in Vietnam and slowly globalize outside of Vietnam to international competitions. The fact that you can form these teams at school, sure, like it could happen, but like you're ignoring like the people who are like introverted immigrants who are facing social problems and like who are like in the comfort zone, who are too scared to network, too scared to go outside of their new environment. So this platform is specifically created for them. Yeah.
If you go back to your subscription page, I noticed just now very quickly that you have a $1 plan and a $25 plan. What's the difference between the two, and why would I subscribe to the $25 if there's only a $1 plan?
Okay, so the $1 plan is for like scholars and students who therefore it's very affordable for students and scholars to actually subscribe to our Collabify. So it enables scholars to access to our AI features. And for $25 per year, as I mentioned, it's for more like advanced purposes for organizer and for competition hosters who actually have like the money to pay us and they get access to like advanced coaching, coaching websites and actually like create the competition, easily.
But do you think it's worth 25 times of it? Because the difference is 25 times.
Okay,
calm down, calm down. Breathe first before you answer. Yeah, because the difference is 25 times. So it depends whether someone would like to subscribe something that is 25 times, right? More? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, as I already mentioned, they personally want it for professional purposes. And like these prices are not really finalized, but yeah, I think it's gonna look something like that. And like at the same time, like you're getting like so much stuff like bracket creation and like managing your team. It's basically a professional website at this point. So it's really worth the $25 you have to pay. And they are like grown adults, they have sponsored, like competition sponsored. So $25 is not that much compared to like you know, compared to like their sponsorship and their actually networks.
But this will be paid by the students who wants to join, the users, right? That wants to join this Collabified.
What is it, $25?
No, this plans.
Wait, okay, so basically Collabified is free, but if you want to access our AI future, you need to pay us $1. That's it.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. I noticed you have some more slides on your revenue. Do you want to run through that?
Sure. So, wait. So for our revenue source, we have like Gold Plus and Gold Pro, which is our two subscription and our ad banner revenue, which these prices will range as Collabified growth. And for our income statement, we usually spend it on three main parts, which is operation, where we pay developers and pay our servers and pay our AI servers. And we have calculated all the numbers. And secondly, our finance and administration, which is like the least amount, which just controls Collabified. And lastly, our sales and marketing, where we spend a lot so we could expand our scope. And as you can see, this proves how Collabified is very feasible and we will be profitable by year 4. Yeah.
Alright, thank you Team Collabified and thank you judges. So while the judges go on Team Collabified, can we invite the next group, Sport Camp, onto the stool up here ready?
Thank you.